All right, we just finished our first day in Romania at the hospital, and we're just going to take some time to go over everybody's impressions. I'll start out. Today I was able to participate in fixation of a Galeazzi fracture, fixation of a tibial pilon fracture, and then after that I was able to participate in repair of a femur fracture, and I'm having a hard time remembering what else I did today. Thank you, an ankle fracture, because we just got back from a very nice dinner, which a number of alcoholic beverages were available. So, so needless to say, I think we'll just go around the table. We'll start out with Dr. Smith here, and we'll just hear how his day went.
No, it was a fantastic day, and anytime I travel, like, I'm always anxious but very excited to meet the people. And like very quickly, when I was at the Children's Hospital, I had a similar kind of reaction to the people that I met when we arrived at the airport, which is a very open, very welcoming, very smart and motivated group of folks that were working so incredibly hard to improve the health of their communities. And so, like, whether it was Radu Jr. or the allergist that I worked with, within the young physicians, there's a real impulse, a real excitement to learn new ways to treat disease. And I think, like, being in medical education, working with lots of residents, lots of students, lots of staff, we all kind of want to see curiosity. And to see those practitioners that are wanting to learn new things, that are wanting to develop new techniques, be a part of disease management across the globe, it's exciting. And I was really kind of humbled and very kind of excited to see the enthusiasm and the intelligence and the skill of all the Romanian physicians that I saw today.
So I was really excited to get involved in the OR. I was, instantly surprised about how eagerly they took us down to the OR and got me involved in the surgery, asked me what I wanted to scrub in, and it was really great to be involved in that. They took me in and asked me to be in positions that were first assist to the surgeon, which I was surprised by, but it was great to get that experience, see how they do things. They were very efficient, have very few instruments, and get down to where they're going very quickly compared to how we do things in America sometimes. And just interesting to see their limited resources, but what they're able to do with those. And it's really exciting. It makes me wonder if we use way too many instruments and way too many things that are just wasteful when they can do very much with very little. And so it's very exciting to see that, and wonder if we can't just cut out some medical waste in our own practice and find better ways to make things more efficient for the patients, have more patients treated in a day, and take some of the costs out of medical care, which is ridiculously insane. So just really excited to see what the next week brings.
Okay, so my first day was great. It was great to see how welcoming and excited everyone was to have us there, how accepting they were to have us come into the ORs with them and just like observe their practices. Like Kelly said, it'll be interesting to see if we, research-wise, whether we use too much or not enough, or just overall it was a great experience getting to observe their practices and how they do things, and it really just makes you think about how we do things and how we can do better or change our practices. So
So I'm Angel, I'm a scrub tech at KU, and going into the Romanian trip, I feel like I did not know
Can we
what
get
to
3 more?
expect. What I got was friendly, energetic surgeons, ready to teach, ready to show us their way, and their way was simple, more simpler than ours. They used minimal stuff, same outcomes, and I was really proud of how the staff worked together and how much information we got from just a short period of time. So I'm hoping tomorrow, as today was my first day, but I'm hoping tomorrow I get to scrub in and learn some more from the inside, you know, scrubbing in instead of from an observer from the outside. So that's it for tonight. So I just want to say thank you to the Romanian surgeons and Dr. Heddings, of course, and everyone here. It's just been wonderful so far. So I look forward to the next couple of days. Thank you.
I really like it. I like countries that are a lot more open with strangers and just anyone in general. The Romanian people are very, very accepting, and they like human interaction a lot more than Americans. And they were just very ready once we came into the hospital for us all to immediately scrub up and walk in to observe and do whatever they wanted. And I came to watch a surgery, didn't go too well since I had never seen anything before, and I near passed out, but it's good.
What do you think of the dinner tonight?
I did not expect a dinner at 3 o'clock, and I had already eaten, but I wanted to be nice, so I kept eating whatever they were putting down to be a nice guest. Along with that, I didn't expect a good 3 courses, but yet I still loved it. It's great culture. I love their food. But
How's the wine?
Good choice.
Yeah.
it was great.
Okay, so I think the most surprising thing I learned medically was just their ability to like adapt and just completely change plans and come up with something so quickly. Like from their rounding to when they went to surgery and how they were gonna treat patients with limited resources. I thought was just amazing how quickly they're like, well, this is what I'm gonna do, and it's great. The patients are gonna do great. So I thought that was really interesting, and I guess from a cultural standpoint, I feel like just how welcoming and accepting they were of us and our, just in general, just being Americans, coming in and watching them and observing them, and overall was great. You're up.
So one of the craziest things I saw today was they don't use scrub techs, they use nurses, and when they need extra instruments, the nurse has an extra long instrument and she'll pull it off the field with sterile gloves and pass it on to the surgeon onto a sterile field to use on the patient. The outcome, again, is still the same. Great patient care. The turnover was great. The staff was working as a team. And I feel like we can improve on ourselves personally in the U.S., in our room and in all our system to be more productive and be proactive in our journey to provide better patient care. So thank you. I have a wild comment. The Romanians are wild, they're awesome, they like to party all night. I'm like, wow, man. I'm down with you. I'm down to party with you guys. So look, awesome hospitality for real, and so appreciate it. Thank you.
So I think medically the thing that impresses me most is things that Jordan and Angel have touched on, or just the adaptability of the surgeons with things that they don't have. We did a hemiarthroplasty today, and they have one size of hemiarthroplasty, and that didn't fit. So once we realized that wasn't going to work, we went to cement, and they were able to realize that that wasn't going to be a great option for the patient to leave it how she was, and went to the next step that they had available, even though their limitations are pretty significant compared to what we have in the United States. And so I think it's just impressive, the skill of the surgeons, especially working with such limited resources compared to what we have, was really impressive to me today. And just they're so facile with what they have and get things done quickly and efficiently, and they're done well. I think culturally it always impresses me that physicians that have gone through extensive training in their home country, and then they speak another language, and so they speak Romanian, they speak English, they're able to master another craft, and it's very impressive to me culturally. And of course how welcoming they are, inviting us in like family. They've met me once and have remembered me and have invited us in and supplied us with a fantastic dinner tonight and fantastic homemade wine and alcohol, and treated us like family and a special event, even though they don't even know us. And so I think that's been fantastic, and I've been really excited to be here, and can't wait to see what the week holds.
Wild card coming.
Wild card coming. Don't drink the soyka.
No, I have been wildly marveled by the skill and the curiosity of the Romanian physicians with whom I've worked. And in medicine we work in a lot of gray, and I think recognizing that uncertainty in our work is really challenging. And to confront some sort of questions, to confront uncertainty with curiosity, with exploration, is what I saw in all the people that I worked with today. And I see a number of passionate physicians that are doing everything they can to make the health of the people that they work with better. And it was a very exciting, fun day to be a part of that process.
Culturally, what really impressed you culturally?
I'd overlap it the same, with
Gotcha.
yeah. So like culturally, I think there's a lot to be said for the people in any particular place, and it is very obvious to see the clear compassion, the clear responsibility that the physicians feel towards the patients that they take care of. And I think that we have the same thing in the United States, but there appears to be fewer layers of bureaucracy that separates the patient from the physician. Here, yes.
Yeah.
And I think again, like that close contact with the patient, that ability to kind of use your skills to interact and move forth with the health of the patient is what I thought was kind of outstanding, and something we have to strive for in the United States for sure. Be cautious and be responsible.
Okay, the most impressive thing I saw from a medical standpoint today was it's the general concept of how to do good surgery with few resources. For example, on the Galeazzi fracture, we had it's an isolated radial shaft fracture that had a butterfly fragment that was on the radial side. In my practice, I would typically do a Henry approach, which is a straight volar approach. I would go down, expose the fracture, and I would typically put a lag screw from radial to ulnar to capture that butterfly fragment. He doesn't have small lag screws to do that, so what he did was he did a direct radial approach, and he used his plate to capture that butterfly fragment. So in essence, he was able to create a stable construct with fewer implants, but it was about just as stable as the one that I could create with the implants I have. The downside of that is that it probably creates some tendon irritation, but that's something that I think would be debatable based upon the patient and what the profile is to the patient. We did a peel-on fracture. He did not have a bone graft, to use for his metaphyseal bone defect in the pilon, and he filled that with the screw. And then he tapered his treatment to the pilon in that he actually accepted a little bit of varus, and he treated it only with screws. And the reason why he had to do that was because he didn't have a plate to use as a buttress construct. To me, that's an example of if he had better implants, he would have been able to get a better outcome for the patient, but with limited resources, he did what was safest for the patient. And I think that's something that I need to focus on in my practice is if I don't have the best thing for the patient, which in America rarely happens, you don't necessarily want to do what is going to generate the best radiographic outcome, the best x-ray. You want to do what's going to generate the best outcome for the patient. With respect to the most impressive cultural trait, I am very impressed with how affectionate the Romanians are and how physically affectionate they are. I am not used to being very physically affectionate with other people, but they have a tremendous affection for their friends, and they display that physically. And honestly, I like that. I wish I was more comfortable with that. They're big with hugs, they're big with kisses. I will never forget Dr. Melancha grabbing Kelly's stump and giving her a big hug. It was, and I will never forget the host grabbing Jordan Brook and saying something to his son in Romanian, which we think was he was marrying her off to him. So, which that gets into my wild card comment, but it was a great dinner and a very memorable night.